I was supposed to do this video hours ago. I got way too invested and spent way too much time coming up with different character ideas and their names and the skills, and the skill names have to be interesting and quirky and have to have puns in them, and then the skills have to do things that are balanced, and we don't want them to be too OP, but what if this one is too OP? We want the activation rate. Maybe the activation rate is too high, and I'm like, this is not my game. Yeah, contrary to popular belief, because I did see the rumor going around that, I don't know if you guys have all heard the rumor, but there is a rumor going around that this is actually my game. It is not. I have nothing to do with the development or anything for the game. I've just been talking to the people that have developed the game. And, but it definitely, like, in retrospect, I definitely see why that is a rumor. I left the Summoners War community for like 6 months. I went AWOL. I come back 6 months later, and all of a sudden I'm playing this new game. And you guys like, there's some weird characters in this game. He left for 6, what was he doing? He says he's going to school, but maybe he was making a game. Maybe this is, some wacky ideas. There are some wacky characters in this game, so I definitely see that. This is not my game. I have nothing to do with the development for the game. I appreciate that that is a rumor, but that is not at all the case. So none of these characters will actually make it into the game unless for some reason Full Stack Hero. By the way, it's a Chinese company. It's not. I have nothing anyway. That's besides the point. Fun ideas won't actually make it into the game. But let's see. I had too much fun coming up with these. I wanted to make them as close to, graphically, as close to what you would see in Element Fission, I guess. But, you know, you can only do so much. Let's get it started. First character, the PiePie Pirate. I had a little too much fun with this. Slice of Pie. Skill 1, Slice of Pie attacks the enemy, deals 10 times more damage if the target's HP is divisible by 7. This is going to be one of those where, like, you do your skill 1, then like it instantly nukes the enemy, and you're like, what happened? And then you're like, forget, like, oh right, this is the one that does 10 times more damage. So it does a obscene amount of damage if the character's HP is divisible by 7. I thought that would be cool. Skill 2, Pastry Parabola. Launches a perfectly, so he's a mathematician and also a baker and also a pirate. He is a jack of all trades. Launches a perfectly aimed pastry in an arc at the enemy, which will always land as a critical hit and can even target enemies under stealth. Then we have the skill 3 Cannonball Cobbler, attacks all enemies with a sticky pastry, inflicting slow, stun, and 70% decrease attack bar. What a crazy look at the PiePie Pirate. Crazy character. Next up we have the Combat Wombat. Combat Wombat. Skill 1 Tackle, attacks the enemy with a 50%. This one's kind of straightforward. Attacks the enemy 50% chance to inflict damage over turn. Skill 2 Claymore Claws, attack the enemy dealing pure damage equal to 30% of the target's max HP. 10% against bosses, otherwise it'd be too crazy. Skill 3 Marsupial March. I could see this being a dungeon unit also. Skill 3 Marsupial March, speed buff, crit buff, and 20% attack boost to the entire team. This could be a nice unit to open up. Like you do the Marsupial March to enable the damage dealer to clear the waves, and then against the bosses, the mid boss and the end boss, you do the Claymore Claws, and then you do the damage overturn. That's how those things get nuked. But I thought this could be an interesting, fairly straightforward, interesting character, Combat Wombat. I'm really enjoying this. Is probably my favorite character of the entire thing. Papa Pepperoni. Skill 1 Parmesan Pound. Deal damage to the enemy. You see how happy I am making this stupid crap. Really. Skill 1 Parmesan Pound. Deal damage to the enemy with a 20% chance to stun. Skill 2 Noodle Net. Attack the enemy team with wet noodles, decreasing attack gauge by 50% with a 50% chance to stun. We don't want it to be too OP. It's a skill 2. And then the skill 3, Raviolanche, attacks enemies randomly 7 times with the first hit. Raviola, come on, man. He's got a gun. He's got like a bazooka gun that shoots ravioli. Mamma mia. Attacks enemies randomly 7 times with the first hit having a 20% chance to ignore defense, and each subsequent hit increasing the chance to ignore defense by an additional 10%. This could be really crazy in some of the Abyss dungeons. I mean, it doesn't exist, and this is all make-believe in my head, but Papa Pepper, maybe I should go back into making games. Who wants to fund me? Who wants to give me $1 million? We can make something happen with that. See, I could work on a budget as long as it's 7 figures. Next up we have Dino de los Muertos. It's a dinosaur, but it's a Day of the Dead themed dinosaur. Oh, you already got that? You don't need me to explain it to you? Okay. Skill 1, Bon Appetit. Bites the enemy, restores health equal to 20% of the damage. Skill 2, Sombrero Spin. Attacks all enemies with a Razor Sombrero, inflicting 2 damage. I don't know where he got the Razor Sombrero from. He's a skeleton dinosaur, so I don't know where he's going to hide things. Inflicting 2 damage over turn for 2 turns each. And then the skill 3, Mariachi Mayhem, summons Ghost Mariachi in front of all allies who take the damage and disappear the next instance each ally would take damage. Interesting new character, Dino de los Muertos. Then we have Squid Vicious. 2 people got that pun. That's okay. That's for you. Skill 1, Tentacle Whip. Whips an enemy with a tentacle with a 25% chance to land attacks with 2 additional tentacles, each inflicting damage over turn for 2 turns. Could be, I mean, it's all RNG, but could be much better skill 1 than really should be a skill 1. Skill 2, Kraken's Command. Attack the enemy with Squid Ink, inflicting paralysis, blind, and block. Of course, we had to put the Squid Ink in there somewhere. And then skill 3, Shipwreck. Really potentially crazy if it lands the debuffs. Attacks all enemies with 8 hits. Already ridiculous. I mean, if this was Summoner's War and we had the additionals, that would be wild. 8 hits AoE. Each hit has a 20% chance to inflict speed down, defense down, taunt, oblivion, damage over turn, attack down, mark, and blind. 20% though. Like, this would be obscene skill if this was 100% chance. It is not 100% chance. It's not even in the game, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, 20% chance. I think this could be cool if maybe one of the devs is watching and they're like, oh, this could be, maybe we should make a squid character or a combat wombat. They're not that dumb. They're not going to use any of these. They're like, we are going to use better characters than the stupid things you came up with. But we will name one of them Shipwreck. I can see that happening. Next up, we have Ampscamp. First off, hold on. Before we talk about Ampscamp, I've been meaning to do this for a while. I want to challenge J Gigs to come up with at least 5 new characters for Element Fission. 5 to 10. Maybe 10 is too much. 5 new characters for his channel. I've been meaning to do a collab, and I said I was going to shout him out and I was going to do a collab with him. But you know how I do. Every time I have done collabs in the past, the ones that don't work are the ones that we try to like get on a voice call together and then the audio always gets messed up. Try to do it with Childish, Nick the Greek, YDCB, never worked. Every time it's failed, and they thought I was like botching them on purpose. I'm like, no, it's contrary to how it should be. I messed up the audio so many times. Actually, maybe that's. You could see that, can't you? You're like, you messed up the audio for yourself for many years. That's not surprising you messed up the audio for them too. But yeah, I want to shout him out and I want to challenge him to come up with some characters on his, some characters he thinks would be cool for himself. Some characters he thinks would be cool. Next up, we have Ampscamp. Skill 1, Static Sneak. Attack the enemy with a 30% chance to stun. Skill 2, Wire Trap. Attacks all enemies 3 times. The first hit has a 30% chance to stun. Second hit has a 30% chance to block buffs. Third has a 30% chance to inflict paralysis. It is a skill 2. I didn't want to have a crazy chance to do things, because I mean, if it's 100%, then that's a wild skill 2, right? I didn't really determine if these should be 4 stars or 5. They're definitely too strong to be 3 stars. Some of these, I would say most of these probably seem like 5-star unit kind of thing. Skill 3, Blackout, enables stealth for 2 turns, and attack buff for 2 turns, and then attacks all enemies with a 100% chance to blind and inflict paralysis. Next up we have the Croc Dock. Yeah. The pride in my face for the stupid names that I thought were genius. The Croc Dock. First skill, Chisel Chomp. Attack the enemy twice with a 30% chance to inflict defense break with each hit. Skill 2, Drillzilla. This one felt like it maybe should be the 3rd skill. Drillzilla. Attack the enemy 4 times with a power drill, penetrating defense, and stunning. Gotta be a low multiplier, because 4 hits, penetrating defense, ignore defense. That's wild. Only 1 target, but would have to be a low multiplier per hit. Skill 3, Crown Cracker. Attack the enemy twice. The first hit, defense breaks and heal blocks, and the second hit, inflicting significant damage. So this one's going to have a very high multiplier. And then, oh, I already teased all the rest of the other ones. Next up, we have Vibrato Valentino. Skill 1 Chirp, attack the enemy, 50% chance to inflict sleep for 1 turn, kind of like a peacock bard kind of thing. Skill 2 Ornamental Overture, sings to all allies, granting them with Foresight and Crit Dampen for 2 turns each. He's a buffer support unit. And then the Skill 3 Feathered Falsetto, motivates team and provides them with immunity and heal over time for 3 turns each. Really good buffing support type of unit. Next up we have Dr. Fission Fangs. This should be the new motto. He fits right into the game, right? Skill 1 Beaker Bash, attacks 1 enemy inflicting toxic debuff with a 50% chance. Skill 2 Dr. Jackal and Mr. Pride. Because like a pride of lions? Oh, you already got that. Okay. Cleanses and heals 30% of HP. This is a self cleanse and heal. Increasing max HP by 10% for every time he uses it. Stacks up to 5 times maximum. So we can have 150% of his HP that he came into the match with. It's kind of like the Water Warbear and Summoner's War a little bit. Skill 3 Lab Catastrophe, mixes all test tubes into 1 giant explosion, dealing pure damage equal to his HP to all units, and then inflicting them with 2 turns of toxic and paralysis. Oh, I had missed opportunity to say paralysis. Hold on, guys. I'm going to re-record this entire video. It's worth it. It'll be worth it. Next up, we have... this is actually the last one. Sashimi Shogun. Skill 1 Saki Slice. Attack the enemy twice. No debuffs or anything. Skill 2 Nori Storm. Attacks random enemies 4 times with Flying Nori with a 50% chance to inflict blind with each attack. And then Skill 3 Tempura Tempest. Self-buffs crit and counterattack and attacks enemies 6 times randomly with a 50% chance to inflict damage over turn. I thought he could be a nice unit for Death Lab. That is the one. He's got a lot of multi-hits. And he also has counterattack. Anyway, that's it for this one. Let me know which one your favorite is, or if you have another better idea. Everyone's gonna be like, I got a better idea. How about you shut your mouth? Listen. I just expect that by now. Anyway, let me know what your favorite one is, or if you want to come up with your own crazy idea. And actually, I feel like I should send the crazy ideas you guys come up with as well to one of the people on the dev team and see if they like any of them. I don't know. Maybe it's worth a shot. Why not? We have communication. We can suggest things. And then that's that. We can't do more than that. But anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. JGigs, I challenge you to come up with some for your channel as well. And I will see you as always in the next one.